I will be doing the talking because Rosa is too shy.
It's a good excuse.
So yes, as Claudio just explained, we have been in the workshop several times now, but it's always remote, except for the first time. So let me see, how do we do that? Hello. I'm going to speak about a project, our last telematic project that we did, and it was, unfortunately, during the COVID era. So it's a project that was really started during the lockdown. But before that, because we are often in NP-APW, but we don't speak so much. I just would like to introduce a little bit where we come, our background, so that it's into the context, because we don't really come from the academic field, and where most of you come. So I just want to put a picture. So we are mainly, Rosa and myself are leading this project called Conic Theatre. And we have been since 30 years now, working with the hybridization of technology and live arts mainly. Also installation, interactivity, but mainly for stage. So this means that we have an experience of bringing together, because we have we are from different fields. I'm from the technology and music field, and Rosa is from the theater and direction of the project, artistic. So we complement each other, and we try to make work that look for this hybridization. Yeah? That we want to make sure that when we use technology, it does make some substantial change to what happens on stage in the case of a performance. That means we don't use technology if it does not bring some qualitative change in how we are expressing ourselves. Rosa likes to speak about mediaturgies, because we have all these languages that come together and interact through technology. So this is our background. We have been doing this for 30 years with sensors, with interactivity, with motion capture, with telematics, of course. So I will, this is a stage project. But no, I will talk about telematic projects that are not possible for us without the collaboration. This is where we have this, how we find ourselves into the academic world, because we have these opportunities, this opportunity to work with, in our case in Barcelona, with CESUC, who are the people who make possible the connection between, in this case, we are with Brazil, with Ivani Santana, using her software, Atron. This was the first time we came in NP-APW in Barcelona, in Odiseo. Also with Ivani in Brazil. We worked with the APAN network, which is Asian Pacific network. In this case, we decided to try to make a 3D space with using the Kinect camera, so that we had little avatars, and that was our bringing. Last time we came to NP-AP was in Prague, where we were using Kinect camera to have a 3D actor projected on stage. Well, these are different projects that we have been doing. All of them with these images, all of them were projects that were possible thanks to high-speed technology with very high resolution image, thanks to UltraGrid in this case. We are big fans of UltraGrid. And this was in Linz, yeah? So, in fact, we were invited by Akonet. I think Renata will speak later about, and you will see on the website, you can see maybe some of the images from our side in Barcelona, where we explained our way of working, and they are on the site of ArtNet CC. Okay, this was sort of an introduction, so where we come from. Yeah? Of course, like everybody else, 2020, everybody locked down, and we were in the middle of a project, and we have, like everybody else, we are at home. So we thought that this expertise that we gained during these years participating in this kind of workshops and doing telematic work with audiences, and we thought that it was an opportunity for us to share this knowledge and to invite other people to participate. So this is what BrumaNet is. Basically, it's a project from home using really low technology. We really were in a home studio, which is we are very lucky in Barcelona, where we are. We have a like 400 square meter studio that is from the city of Barcelona. Yeah, we are really lucky. We have a beautiful studio, like for the last 6 years. Every year we can renew. But it was because it was from the city. It was on Fridays. They said, no problem. You can come back on Monday. And of course, Monday we could not come back, and all our equipment was locked, and there was absolutely no access because it's the city, so it would be too complex. So that was the situation. People from them home, webcam. We all have experienced this. So what how the project worked? It was, of course, it was from the necessity of live performance. So we invite it became a weekly experience. Every week, through Facebook in this case, we put a call, and the people responding to this call were invited to do a performance Thursday evening. It was normally. And at the beginning, this was what we were feeling it was, no? Basically a healing ritual. You know? We had these people. The response was incredible. We had people from all over the world prepared to come and to share with us this experience, this performance. Finally, in fact, it was a live performance. The result was transmitted live only on Facebook. So we had, and in fact, I have some. These images are from a sort of evolution of the project. But what you see basically are still images from a Zoom meeting. Yeah? This is how we were meeting. We were video conference, everybody with their laptop or phone, and it was a space to meet people also. The moment before and after was very important also to find out what the situation was all over the world. There are many people from South America, Bolivia, Brazil, Argentina, but also from France, Italy, Germany. Yeah, so the piece started to evolve. We presented it in Earth Day Art model. There was the version from the festival. So how do we do? Because it's very short time. I mean, it's a performance. It's an improvisation performance. Like we don't rehearse, or we meet people who might have technical problem or questions on the day before and make some kind of rehearsal. But really, it was like on Monday we have the call, and on Thursday we do a performance, 20 minutes more or less, depending on the musicians, depending on the people who participate. And so for this, basically, there is obviously a strong work in partly of like how do you say Guion, and basically what we give the people is some basic evolution, yeah? Like body, language, evolution over the time of the performance, which is fluid, but some also when they are musicians, if there were musicians, some cues. Yeah? We say, okay, 5 minutes, we have this kind of music. So there was this script. Yeah? It was a script that Rosa made, also with snapshots, some ideas, some proposal that then the performers followed or not. A lot of people we did not know. It was a lot of people. Some people were friends of us on Facebook, yeah. But then we performed with many people, or in together over 40 artists participated. A lot of them then repeated different performances. We have done about 20 performances altogether. So one of the idea that we like to work always in network performance is to make us the visual as something that is a space where the people, the performers meet, yeah? and to change. I mean, you will not think that this is a Zoom conference, and that's what we try to do. So after the pandemic stopped, we finally went back to our studio, and we started to be invited by festivals. So that was a nice step forward. You know, we had what we had been doing during these months. Finally, had a way to come out, and then also the opportunity from because of our expertise, yeah, to find different configurations. For instance, one of them, which is the one I have here, in Italy, where we had 2 performers in a festival invited us. It was still post-COVID, but reduced audience. So we had 2 performers on stage with the production behind, 2 musicians on a different stage in the same festival. And then the image was mixed in Barcelona, and that's what they saw. The audience saw the combination. So basically, it's more or less the project. What we knew was important. Yeah, what we learned along these years, because in the first 2 weeks we were already ready to invite people and to make this happen. Yeah? It was like a lot of stress for like everybody else. We were, you know, like what we do, how long will it last? But we said, let's do it. What we have learned, we have managed to make a network performance, which is not just most of the time when we do network performance with all the equipment that is required, and especially the network connection, which it's not that we bring the network connection to the theater, but we bring ourselves to where the network connection is. It means that there are spaces that are not necessarily prepared for it, and also that are not, you don't have 1 week in this space to do the network performance. So you don't tour it. But in this case, we managed to show online or offline in very several festivals in Argentina, Italy, in Barcelona. So it was like this idea of touring a network performance, which is something we never did. We think there is an interest, at least obviously there was an interest during the pandemic. I don't know if this is still the case, because people maybe, myself included, rather go to have a beer than, with friends than watch friends having beer online. But also, obviously, as we have heard, I think, in the last 2 days, most everybody, all of a sudden, we know more, which means even also the technicians in the festival, the technicians that normally work, they have more facility to, when you ask them something which is very specifically related to internet, to the communication, they have more knowledge. Okay, so obviously we want to come back to more quality, and also since we finished COVID, we are now working. Our new project, which we showed in June, has we work on stage, but with a game engine, like 3D environment with dance that has been motion captured or scanned more. And now this is where we are now, and hopefully we can also bring this again back to the telematic. I will show you, if I have time, I can show you a short extract. Okay, so I will show you an extract of one of the versions. In this case, is in Barcelona, a theater that invited us to make a performance. So it was not in our home, you know, it was already post-COVID, and it's for an online dance, video dance platform. So we make it. There were two people in a theater in 2 different rooms. There was a musician and a dancer in our studio. So you can see in movement what we have seen a bit before. I think that's more or less, if there are any questions.
So, thank you, Alain, first. Any question? Yes, I see Jill down there again. Coming.
Thank you very much, Alan. That was really interesting, and it's so nice to actually see you here, you know, because at other conferences you've not been here, so it's lovely to see both you and Rosa here. I've been a fan of your work since I went to Linz and saw the production that Renata produced. I thought what you did there was amazing, and I really like the way that, you know, the presentation of your performances is so imaginative. And I'd like to know what software you use to mix the visuals.
Yeah, in this case, I use a software called MadMapper, which is really specifically for mapping, but it's very useful for all this playing with different images. And then there is a little engine behind which I was making MaxMSP. So it's like MadMapper is very simple software for visual, but very powerful for real-time visuals. But then the engine, what it makes all the combination is MaxMSP.
Okay, thanks. And is this software something that takes a expertise to use, or could you know, do you have to have special knowledge to use it, or is it something that, you know, people without the knowledge that you have could use?
I'm not very good programmer, but I've been using MaxMSP, I don't know, since '95, and I still struggle with it. So it's not so easy. MadMapper is much easier because, but in itself, it doesn't have these dynamics and these. You can do things, but no, MadMapper is not so difficult to use. Yeah.
Okay, great.
And so it's a combination. Basically, what you see here really is we streamed with OBS the Zoom meeting. This is our image that everyone in the meeting sees. This is why it's not so much quality. It's like a Zoom quality. And so we streamed this with a second computer, but the kitchen, yeah, is like a MadMapper and simulating it's a camera, yeah, using like a NDI to make Zoom think that MadMapper is a camera.
Okay, great. Yeah, I think it's interesting, you know, when you don't have a high quality image to manipulate it in ways that are, you know, imaginative. I think some people might think, oh, well, the image isn't too great, we shouldn't do that. But I think what you do is a good example of, you know, when you have a maybe not such a high quality image, you know, what you can do with it imaginatively. So thank you.
Yeah, we had time, 3 months in nothing else to do. So there's a lot of time spent in fiddling the image quality. How can we get the best and treating the image so that it looks good?
Hi, I'm David from Memphis again, and thank you, Rosa, for being here as well. Yeah, I didn't realize you were the two behind a few things I've seen, so it's good to meet you. Do you have, I know you produce these things, but do you have a core group of dancers and musicians that you work with, or do you simply produce for people that come to you?
Well, in this case, we made it as an open call. So on Facebook, we have like friends, 5, I don't know how many, but Facebook. On Friday, if you want. And so people started to join, but from all over the world, and we didn't know. Like we knew some of them, the core, let's say the one that were most frequently inside the performance. We did 20, yeah. So some of them came several times, But the rest, in this case, is, and we are so grateful because we met amazing people from, like from Bolivia, for instance, or from Brazil, from Germany, France, and we didn't know them, and they came and participated and brought their knowledge, and also it was this idea of exchange. Yeah? It was really, there was not much time. We would spend little time talking. It was really, let's do the performance. And then after, maybe we spent more time because everybody was trying to know how it was everywhere else.
But in normal times, you don't have a core group of people that...
No, we are a very small company. We can't, we don't. We tend to have a dancer that repeat, but no, we don't have, no.
Okay.
Can't afford it.
I understand. Thank you.